Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Robin and today I am doing a little special to celebrate that I have passed the 100 subscriber, and I would like to tell you a little bit more about who I am, where I'm from, what I'm doing, and what are my plans for the future. So I grew up on the east coast of Canada in Quebec near Montreal, Trois-Rivières, speaking French till I was 18 years old. I graduated high school when I was 16, turning 17. Then I worked for 1 year to be able to afford moving out west to Banff. So just before I turned 18, I moved to Banff with my brother, where I did a lot of snowboarding and learned English then. And then after 4 years in Banff, I moved back to Quebec for 6 months, worked a little bit, then I moved to Whistler. This is where I am right now, in Whistler, BC. And I've been here for 8 years, and I'm now planning to move back for maybe half a year to Quebec so I can build a tiny house. I'm gonna make it hopefully 100% sustainable, collecting rainwater for shower and washing dishes and drinking water. I will have a compostable toilet, and then I'll make it as small as possible so I can travel with it. I'm hoping to travel around the world, but first maybe just America, so all the way down to South America. I want to go down Chile, Argentina, Peru. I want to see Mexico. I want to see all of that. Hopefully I can drive with my tiny home across the whole continent. And then I'm hoping to get better in Spanish so I can maybe also do some activism in Spanish. And while I am in Quebec building my tiny house, hoping to do some activism in French. So if anyone wants to see some French activism, that's gonna happen then. For sure, I will be going down the plazas, probably in Joliette, in Lanaudière, which is where I'm from. That's where my parents live, and yeah, so that's all my plan for the future. So might not be doing too much activism, especially not in English for next summer. I'm still here for the winter, so I'm hoping to do more videos. So a little bit background of how I became an activist. Well, when I moved to Whistler 8 years ago, I was still a meat eater, but then I learned about how animal fat and cholesterol and all this is bad for your health, and then I became a vegetarian. Well, mostly a flexitarian, let's say. For about almost a year, I would only buy a plant-based product for home, but when I would go to restaurants and out, I would not care if there was eggs, dairy, like cheese, and food. I would just like pretty much be a flexitarian. I would maybe have fish once in a while. And then around the end of 2017, I said that's enough. I can go fully plant-based now. And by 2018, I was plant-based, and then I watched the documentary Dominion. Now, after that documentary, I was obviously shocked to see what happened to the animals. And because I was already on a plant-based diet, it was a lot easier for me to accept how wrong it is. And I also realized it's not just the food industry. It's like leather, wool, silk down, fur, like all animal products are derived from abusive neglect, murder, all of the abuse. And that's why I decided to go fully vegan and not buy any product derived from animals. Now there has been some occasion where I accidentally bought some leather products, like my snowboard boots. I thought it was synthetic because the brand Burton usually use synthetic for most of their boots, but that specific model had genuine leather, and I didn't know that. But I also bought the boots on sales, not just like on a regular deal, but they're the last year model that try to get rid of at cheap price. So it's not like well, it's not like I was not giving money to the industry, but in the end, it's not like I bought a brand new leather pair of boots that I knew it was leather. I didn't know it was leather. But since then, I have made sure that every product that I've bought was not derived from animals, but also plant-based. So I've got rid of a lot of plastic clothing, and I use bamboo for thermal for winter. I do a lot of snowboarding and winter camping, so you don't need to wear wool to stay warm in the winter, and you don't need to use synthetic products either. I am only using bamboo, and it's actually very comfortable. It's warm, it's flexible, and I really like it. Actually, best thermal underlayer, first layer that I've ever had, and it's happened to be the most eco-friendly and also animal friendly. So cruelty-free clothing, and yeah, so I became vegan after the documentary in 2018 of Dominion, and in 2021 when I saw Seaspiracy, that's what made me become an activist. So I, for the first year or two, first two summer, I would say, I would just do social media activism, or I would go out by the highway with a sign that says "Go vegan, save the animals, save the planet," all this stuff. But I wouldn't really do any interaction, like face-to-face, one-on-one with people, like street outreach. I only started doing that in this spring, around April or May, not too sure, maybe June. And I find it to be the most effective way. If you just go by the highway with a sign like I did, the only people who's gonna see the sign and like say yes, great, are the people who are already vegan, and everyone else gonna just be like, what an idiot. But if you go in public, do some street outreach, you can have a sign that says anything really, just to make people stop by and then have a conversation. And then you can see for yourself, like you can not judge, but you can observe if the person is really empathetic toward the animals, if they have compassion. If they really don't care at all, then you can like just say, alright, thanks for stopping by, but no interest in talking to someone who don't care. So keep moving along, and then when people stop by and then they feel like they look like they have empathy, and then you can feel it that there might be, somewhere to go in the conversation, and then you can push on and then go down the rabbit hole of veganism, and down the ethical train. The best method or the best argument is always name the trait. If you cannot name a trait of why it is justifiable to abuse animals for needless pleasure, really, because that's all it is, there is no need in 2023 in our society, to be honest, to eat or to consume any animal products. And yes, there might be some countries or some places in the world that they have to for survival, but to be honest, if we did our part If all of the rich country adopted the plant-based system, signed the plant-based treaty, switch the entire food system, we could help those countries. We could help those more poor people like the Inuits that had been pushed up north, that now struggle to survive. They have to eat fish and then like seals and such like that. Like, we should be doing our best so we can help those people that need it. Like, I'm pretty sure if you gave the Inuits the options to stay where they are and survive a seal, or go back to the original land more down south when where they can grow food, I'm sure they would choose to move back down south where they used to live but got kicked out by the French and English colonizers that came up. Now, I did not mention that, but I am of Native American origin. On my father's side, we come from a lineage of Micmac. Now, not 100% Native American. I'm only 1/8, but my grandfather was half Native, and I grew up knowing him very well. Like, he's a fisherman, he's a hunter, trapper. My dad grew up doing the same thing, and obviously I am against all of this, especially that they don't do it for survival. They only do it because they enjoy fishing, they enjoy eating animals. My dad fish and hunt not because he has to eat that food. He works in construction, and he literally buys all the food. Like, he only go fishing maybe once or twice a year for pleasure, and I don't know what's the pleasure in murder. So, that's another thing that a lot of people always talk to me about. Is like, what about Native American? Well, I am from Native American descendants. I don't think that tradition and culture is a justification to abuse, exploit, and murder animals. And especially when you actually consider the history. The white man came onto this land, kicked the Native American out of their properties where they used to be co-living with nature. Like, obviously they were not perfect. They did kill animals. They also had war between each other, but they were a lot more in peace with nature. And the white people or colonizers, they came in, they kicked off of their land so they can graze animals, so they can graze cattle on these lands. And now the Native American completely forgot about all of this, and they're taking the white person ways to enslave animals, and then doing that to like bisons, which like the Native American are like been fighting for centuries to try to preserve the life of bisons, because we all know how they all been massacred to clear the land. And now instead of just trying to preserve them, they are enslaving the bisons and other animals in captivities to sell for meat, as they are only baby animals. They're probably only 2 years old when they're killed. And I don't think that it's very, the Native American way. Like, I get it, like he had to hunt to survive back in the days, but not anymore. It's time to change. So yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna be doing much in the future. I'm thinking when I'm moving back to the East Coast next summer, for 6 months I'm gonna be building a tiny home, which I will be living fully sustainably. I will make it so I can collect rainwater for drinking, shower, and I will have a compost toilet. And hopefully I can do some activism in French during that time where I'm in Quebec. And after, when I'm done building my tiny home, if I have enough money, I really wish to travel around the entire continent of America, all the way down south. and practice my Spanish. Hopefully I can get good enough so I can do activism in Spanish. I really like to expand as much awareness as I can to all the languages. I know English is the most popular language around the world for like social medias and like spreading knowledge. Of course, if I did all of my activism in French, I would never have as much subscribers, so I wouldn't be able to spread awareness as wide. But if I did activism in French and Spanish, I could have more outreach, more people viewing, and then hopefully more people going vegan for the animals. And maybe in the future, if I'm done with America, I want to learn other languages such as German, maybe even Russian or something, and then travel the world and do more activism. Yeah, I really like learning new languages as much as I like learn new things, and I like to travel, even though I've never left Canada yet. I don't have a passport, so I gotta work on that. Once I got my tiny home, I need to get a passport, save money, travel. But hopefully by the time this is all done, I will have practiced more Spanish, maybe even learn a little bit basic German. Who knows, Japanese? I've started with the Japanese alphabets, or the three symbols. Well, I've only started with the two main ones, the easy ones, and I pretty much gave up because I want to focus on Spanish at the moment. But I am pretty sure I could pick it up very fast. Yeah, so I got this book right here. So hiragana and katakana. So these are the two two alphabets that I learned last winter, but I pretty much forgot most of it. But if I tried, I know I could easily learn fast and get back into it. But yeah, these are my plans for the future. Learn more language so I can do more activism, spread more knowledge through the world, and I really want to live sustainably in a tiny home, travel, and well, I really hope that you guys enjoyed this videos. Like and comment. Let me know what type of activism you guys like the most, what you guys would like to see me do in the future. If you guys have any ideas of activism I can try, I want to try everything. I had a great idea where I want to buy well, I want to rescue a pig as a companion, and I want to bring that pig around the city or anywhere where there are a restaurant with patio, where I could walk near the patio holding my little piggy, and then be like, hey, like, see you guys, like, this is like a little dog, and you guys are here like eating bacon, and like so people might see, oh, like, pigs are not just like an animated object, they're like animals, and they can be companions just as much as dogs, cats, goats, like animals are all sentient, have feelings, they all have willing to live their life free of exploitation, and they all can feel joy. And yeah, so let me know what you think about this all in the comments, any ideas, and subscribe, like, leave a comment. Have a great day. See you in the next video.